Hello everyone, my name is Mehek. I hope you guys are doing fine and safe, and like always I hope you guys are reading. It's sadly again a lockdown, 1 month of lockdown in Maharashtra and Mumbai, and soon at so many other places that I'm hearing. But like I always say, when the real world goes in lockdown or when the real world fails you, there's always the fictional world that delights and comforts you. And I'm so glad that I've hoarded some fictional and fantasy books to actually keep me sane in this another lockdown. Hopefully there's no more lockdown after this. But yeah, I finished reading this beautiful book, and I'm going to stress it many times throughout this review how much I really want you guys to read about it. Also, this story is set in New York, and I've just realized after reading this book that I love stories, happy and set in New York. I think there's a different charm about those stories. So this book was also set in New York and is actually become my recent favorite now. The book is called The My Salinger Year. It actually has a nice cover on it, but I think I prefer like this. It adds a more I don't know, old school look to it. It's called My Salinger Year. It's by Joanna Rukoff. And there's also a movie on it, but like always I'm a little behind in watching movies and TV shows. So yeah, I have not watched the movie, but I can vouch for the book. Now coming to the story is about Joanna Rukoff. She's 24-year-old and she is recently graduated, and she's taken this job at this literary agency. She has no idea what that is or what her job is going to be, but that's the only job. She shifted to New York and that's the only job that came her way. Other than that, she's also a poet, but she's too scared to publish her poems. And so yeah, she joins this agency and she basically spends her days writing letters, using typewriters and dictaphones to write letters for her boss. That is all her job is, in the start. Much contrary to what she thought it would be. She thought that because she's going to work in an agency, she's going to be reading manuscripts and books, but sadly that doesn't happen with her, and she's literally spending her entire day with typewriters and dictaphones. And at the end of the day, she goes to this shabby Brooklyn apartment that she's sharing with her boyfriend, who is another douchebag. So yeah, that is pretty much what Joanna's life is currently. She's also someone who is going through financial burden. She's her wage is really poor. She's literally living on an assistant salary, which hardly which only makes her afford her food and rent. That is also with a lot of difficulty. And then on her last trip to her parents, she realizes that she has this student loan which she has no idea about, and some credit card bills that she spent during her student years. All that has come to her now, and that obviously increases her financial burden all the more. And then there is this her agency who refuses to become modern at all. They are receptive to change, and her boss is old school. So basically there is no internet, no mails, no intercoms, nothing. And yeah, like I said, they're receptive to change. And Manhattan, everywhere, all the agencies around, because Manhattan is at the brink of internet and technology development, but her agency is still holding back because they're kind of old school. So that is again another issue for Joanna. Now of the many tasks, she starts her journey writing letters, but one day she's tasked to write letters to answer to fan mails written to J.D. Salinger, the famous American author. So the agency that Joanna works for handles J.D. Salinger, and one day her boss just gives her this task that you're supposed to be answering fan mails for him on his behalf. And it's been a decade now that the agency has this fixed form or template. No matter what the letter is and what it's asking or what it is conveying to J.D. Salinger, there's a fixed response for all the fan mails that's coming their way. But once Joanna, she starts reading these letters written by from all over the world, from different kinds of people with different sentiments. There's so much emotions and so much love and so much feelings put into those letters. Joanna cannot help, and she just cannot get herself to write those decade-old responses for all of them. So what she does is, at the end of the day, she becomes totally invested in those letters, and she starts customizing and answering back to them. And soon, I think, as she starts she becomes the voice of J.D. Salinger, and in that process, I think somewhere she discovers her own voice. So that is what this book is mainly about, you know, of Joanna finding her headway in the publishing, in the book industry. At the same time, you know, it's about a girl who is trying to make a living in New York City. She has this great youthful enthusiasm, obviously, and but she's also someone who is going through financial burden. It's also about you know, disappointments that one goes through in a relationship or in love. So I think for me personally, it was a very charming memoir of Joanna Rakoff. Some of the things that I really like in this book was, you know, it talks about the uncertainty that one, you know, she's all but 24, so I could relate to it, you know, that the uncertainty and the things that I went through when I was 23 or 24 about my career, you know, that is beautifully described in this book. Also, you know, the doubts and the feelings that you feel in your first job. You want to be the first person to walk into the office, the last person to walk out, and if you can walk out for lunch, how many hours you're supposed to take for lunch, you know, how many minutes or hour. And you know, there are times when you genuinely think you haven't you know, a good feedback or opinion about a project, but you're like, but I'm just 24, you know, can I give the feedback to my boss? So all this, you know, is explained in this book, and you know, you can really relate to it. At least I could relate to it, you know, the feelings that I experienced in my first job or when I was 24. Also the perils of student loan, you know, there's so many people out there who are really working so hard and at the same time paying the crazy student loans. So you can also relate to that as well in this. Also, you know, the book has this funny take on the initial sentiments that people felt when, you know, the world was getting exposed to internet, the World Wide Web and mails and everything. You know, there's one character, she says, you know, that no one is really talking to anyone now. You know, if I have something that I want to go and talk to my boss, you know, she sits right opposite to me, but I actually have to write her a mail. I can't just go walk and go to her cabin and say something, because she'll be like, you know what, just drop me a mail. So I think she's like, you know, that was really funny for me. And you know, she's like, but no one really talks to anyone. And I think that's so true. With the internet, emails and intercoms, people have literally stopped getting up and going to another person's desk, because we just don't want that. We are not used to that. We're like, you know, just drop me a mail. So I think yeah, it gives you an insight about the initial sentiments that people would have felt when, you know, and they also felt, you know, some of them, it's mentioned in the book how some of them felt that, you know, computers are just going to be a fad, and you know, they're just going to just vanish after a few years. So yeah, that part was also really interesting. Yeah, so I think for me it was a beautiful memoir, and if you're someone who is interested in reading about the joy of reading and the disappointments of love and New York City and Manhattan at the brink of internet age, all those topics, if you're interested, you're definitely going to enjoy this book. And lastly, I think the book was also about the universal power of books, you know, the power of books, the power that they can change us and awaken some, you know, true senses in us, is what, you know, described in this book as well. You know, the overwhelming feeling that Joanna constantly felt when she was surrounded by books. Yeah, so that was what this book is all about. There's just one quote that I think that really you know, hit with me. It says that if you get up every morning and write, then you are a writer. Publishing doesn't make you a writer, that's just commerce. And I think that really is going to stay with me. I'm not sure, you know, I don't know if I'll be able to publish a book, but I can definitely call myself a writer. Or you can call yourself a writer if you get up every day and if you write. And so you are a writer, you know, you don't need to get yourself published to call yourself a writer. So yeah, I think that's all on this book. Please give it a try. It's a beautiful book. This book actually kept me awake all night. You know, I don't remember the last time I did that with a book. I really didn't want it to close. It's a beautiful, charming and a really heartwarming read. So please give it a try. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you soon with another book. Take care. Bye bye.